All right, everybody, here we are with one of my favorite Kona captains, the legendary Diamond Dave. He's going to show you a vinyling trick that he's come up with, which is really, really cool. And I'll let him take it away and go into it. He can explain why he's doing it this way and then show you guys how.
Hi there, how you doing? I find it really difficult to run these to get these vinyl skirts tight over these big Bog Eyes, because I really like running them, you know. And so I got the idea from doing Flashy Boo, and so here it is. Anyway, so I start off, you know, just like normal. I like to cut the vinyl the same way I cut the skirts on a normal vinyl. I try to keep everything close to everything as a regular vinyl job. So I use a rubber band.
And that's just a, what is
this
that?
This is a 64, you know,
okay.
Because this is a big lure. I just use, I adjust it for the lure size. But most of these lures are pretty big, so it works. I use this pencil here, and then I have all my vinyl laid out here the way I like it, okay?
And these are just regular cut strips. So if you had a pre-cut vinyl, you could just, or say some vinyl left over. A lot of times, right, when you do a vinyling job, you'll have a lot left over.
Right, you could do that.
You could just cut them off, kind of. It's just regular sized.
Yeah, I like to go between 5/16 and 3/8.
Okay, cool.
Just like the normal stuff. There is a certain tool I use to cut them, so I've tried a couple different ways, and this one seems to work the best and consistent, but it's not like I'm measuring out to pi or anything either.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of free balling it. So I use this pencil here, and I stick them underneath, and I like to have them end right at the back of the lure here. So I just go around. This takes a little time, you know, but just like, you know, everything, you know, once something good takes a little time, you know.
And so each skirt, the end piece, you're making end right at the end of the
right at the end, because I don't want it to stick out, you know, just like a regular vinyl job.
And now in terms of spacing, you want them flush right next to each other?
I put them pretty close, you know. You'll see when I wrap them, you know, they'll crunch together. So what I've kind of have figured out that sometimes I put a little bit more in there, one extra one, and then once I wrap it once, then I'll adjust it. So I get these all going.
Cool.
Like so.
And the pencil's there just to...
the pencil, I find, just makes it easier, you know?
That's smart.
So, you know, as a charter captain, you got to figure out things for yourself, you know, how to do stuff. So it's not like you can just pay people all the time. So, and Kona's kind of known. There's a lot of captains that have made some great innovations towards fishing. So, you know, this is my little take on it. So you can see they're kind of getting a little crooked here, but I will straighten those all out.
Yep. So you'll probably get them all in, and then
I get them all in,
pencil out, and then straighten it. And what's cool about this too is that you can do two-tone, triple tone, quadruple tone, whatever tone. You can do skipjack stripes. You can do all this stuff, which if you've ever tried to do two-tone or tritone with regular vinyling, it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's guys have done the two-tone, and so this is my little take on it. It's a little accent, you know. I call this a little Aku, you know, strip, you know.
So we're gonna do an Aku
on the bottom, just where they see it, you know. I feel the, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it lines up on the side, or you know, but it's in there because not every fish I feel is perfectly symmetrical, you know. So
no.
I just
very cool. But what if you've ever tried to vinyl a Bog Eye type lure? It's really hard to make that thing tight. The vinyl, it just doesn't sit right. So, and you could do this on any lure. I mean, you're doing this. You've done this on non-Bog Eye lures too.
I have, yeah. I've done it on my poi dogs.
It doesn't have to be on a Bog Eye. It's just,
but it's like
it's a benefit to do it on here.
If it, you know, sometimes, you know, the other stuff it works fine too. So.
Cool.
Okay, so
All right.
so I take the pencil out here, and now I could just take my floss. I like to not be shy with the floss. And so I'll just do it just like the flashy boo. You don't have to do the loop. I kind of get them tight here. And this will kind of set them all in there. Okay, so now I could take the rubber band off, and now I could adjust them all to the length that I want, because I didn't get them all super tight.
Yeah,
okay.
So that first lashing,
So
you didn't.
And you can see I bunched a couple of them up here, but now I'll just go around it and get them all kind of like where I want them. So look, I got them all even, perfect. I mean, they're gonna come out pretty killer, and I try not to get them past this so you don't see it when the vinyl is there. So now I give it another really good wrap.
You try and just get them as even as you can.
Yeah, I space them out that way, and I try to cut them as even too, you know, because that's a big thing. I try not to add too much, you know. So now I'll just so I want to get this as tight to the back of this as possible, because it really, you can see there's a big cut edge on this, so I like to build it up. And I do this with my regular vinyl jobs too. I just really, it makes it nice. My buddy Tiny says, you know, the thinner the wax line, the better, the tighter it's going to be wrapped. So if you do your splices too, so we'll let that sit there.
Okay.
So then I take your super glue, and you got to be careful with it because you don't want to get it messy all over the place. I'll kind of glue this one down here like that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take this vinyl here, we're going to give it a wrap all the way around it, and so that's going to give you everything to glue down to. So, but you don't want to flare it over that edge. You just want to keep it there too. So
just a little bit of glue.
I'm not shy with the glue either, yeah, you know, but I don't want to make a mess either, you know.
Yep.
So I like to put it on the side, you know, because that kind of just. Okay, that'll hold it there. And I'll do like 5 at a time. I like to pull it nice and tight, okay?
Yep. Pretty cool.
So it's kind of like, you know, the other vinyl jobs that you do, you know.
Just a little more.
It makes it nice, and this one actually came up pretty killer, bro.
Yeah.
So that's set there, okay? So you can see I got nothing sticking out too far.
And so
I got one little.
Kind of clip them, and then you have it.
Okay.
Pretty much flush right there. That's the seam.
Okay, so that's set.
Okay.
I like to use the green because I've always liked it. So now I'll just start at the top of the lure here. So I want to get them nice and straight, but the trick is when you fold it, you want to push this back against this little crown here, okay? Without getting glue all over it, okay? That's why I've made this concentrate on this edge here to make it so sharp and killer. So okay, there's the first one there, okay?
All right.
It's a little, whatever, didn't get it perfect there, but, and now I just go, I'll do the second one. And it should, if you space them all out.
And right at that part, you want them right next to each other.
Yeah, I try to get them, that's what makes it so.
Just like regular vinyling,
yeah,
when you're doing your seam there.
I'm actually not really liking all this here, so I'm just gonna cut a few of them back here, so.
Okay.
But there's that one.
Wow, this thing's gonna look killer.
So you can see I'm getting a little off, so I'll kind of like make a little gap there and straighten it out. So okay, here it is. So you can see that it's super tight around here, you know, and it just tapered, kind of like a nice figure. I got a couple little accents, and then I just will run my hook rig the length that I like. You know, everybody's a little different. Then I'll adjust my skirts to that. But you get a little bit more color and a little accent. But you don't get the big puffiness.
You don't get that big puffiness that you do, and then and you can create kind of a creative.
Right, it could go to, you know, the next level, but this is the level that I like. I don't want to go too fancy, but there are a lot of.
Very cool, Dave. So that's how you vinyl lure the Diamond Dave way.
Yes.
All right, and. Do you like to clip these at all at the bottom?
I usually I'll have my hook rig
some guys do.
kind of right at the bottom, and then I clip them at an angle.
You do clip them at an angle? I
clip them at an angle. I kind of like to do everything
traditional.
Yeah, the way it is, and
very cool.
A little tip, you know, I think Chip Moles said this, that, you know, he doesn't ever like his vinyl going over the hook rig, you know, which kind of makes sense. You don't want anything adhering the tip of it, because a lot of times the tip, you'll find your lures vinyl gets holes in them. Yeah, because it keeps poking through the tip there. So I like to leave them right there at it, right at the tip, right at the tip. Yeah, right at. So what we're talking about is the barb and the point of the hook you want away from the end of your skirt, because it will snag on it, and you'll notice when it snags, the lure will run all funny and weird. And so if you do have a vinyl rig and you're pulling it in the end of the day and you're noticing this is all flared up and beat up and little holes in it, it's getting stuck on your hook rig, and it's no bueno. I could probably go back with some cutters and cut all this, you know. And you can clean it up, yeah, clean it up a little bit more. But yeah, we get the idea here, and this is the Diamond way of doing it. I love it, man. I like that you're trying something different. And hey, you know, yeah, you got to keep trying new things, you know. We're going to be doing this on all our... We'll see if that gets hammered. Yeah, it's going to be a teaser, and I'll let you know. It will. Yeah, I mean... Cool. Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate it, buddy. Well, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Cool. All right, check them out. Check them out on GZ Lures. GZ Lures. And then if you want to know the secret to cutting them, just sign on to GZ Lures and Chris will show you the link to get these cut pretty perfect.
Yes.